What up, you guys? Chef Billy Parisi here. Thanks so much for coming through, because today, oh today, my friends, it is going down because I'm gonna hook up an amazing smoked pork shoulder, and it is fantastic. When it comes to barbecue, it's all about letting that smoke roll and how much time you want to dedicate to it. You're looking at in between 10 and 12 hours for this recipe to finish, and I know, I get it, that's a ton of time, but I promise you this pork shoulder is amazing in the end. Be sure to check out my ribs recipe video, because I talk a lot about what kind of wood to use, why you use a spritzer, and a whole bunch of other smoking details. Go look at it, it's amazing, the ribs are fantastic. I wanna focus just on this pork shoulder for now. The pre-start, before we do anything, we need to hook up this grill. So what we're gonna do is add in a big metal tin right to the bottom of our smoker. We are gonna fill it up with water. This is gonna help keep moisture in there. Last but not least, go ahead and put the grill grate right in there, close it up, preheat it. We're going to 250 degrees. The first thing we need to do in this recipe is bring out our pork shoulder, let it come to room temperature. You never wanna put ice cold stuff in your smoker. It'll take all day. While we're letting it sit, we are gonna make a rub. Now, there are other ways, of course, to help tenderize and season up your pork shoulder, like injections or brines. I'm gonna stick to a rub because I like it, it's simple. Want that nice bark on the outside. So to start off, what we are gonna do is add some cumin to a bowl. Next, we're gonna hit it with some garlic granules, some onion granules, paprika, sea salt, and last but not least, some pepper. Give it a little mix, and then you should try it. Stick your finger in there and taste it. Is it delicious? Fantastic. That means it's gonna be amazing on this pork shoulder. No matter what kind of rub you make, you should always taste it first, and it should be really tasty. So now, before we rub this down, I do want to talk about a few of the recipes that are out on the internet, actually quite a few of them, that have you rubbing down your pork or your brisket the night before. While this might season it, you're actually taking out a lot of the moisture. I've done this before. I mean, think about it. What does salt do? It draws out moisture. And for me, I want this thing to be juicy and tender, and no offense, 10 hours of smoking with seasonings and that good bark on the outside is plenty of time to season up this pork shoulder to make it really delicious. So if you're asking me, don't do it overnight. Let this thing be moist, let it be juicy and tender. That's what it's gonna do if we season it in the morning and then put it on, not do it overnight. Now, because this pork shoulder is a little fatty, for me personally, we're gonna really trim up anything, maybe just a little off the end, because this nice fat cap that is on top is gonna provide a ton of flavor. What do I always say? Fat equals flavor, my friends. It's gonna be delicious, but again, if you're a little freaked out, trim it up, no problem. Now, to rub this pork shoulder down, I'm gonna add on some Dijon mustard. We wanna rub it down thoroughly on all sides. Put a nice little coating of this on the outside. This is gonna help let the seasoning stick to the pork, help get a nice bark on it as well. And once it is rubbed down, just take that seasoning and generously season it on all sides of this pork shoulder. This thing is thick, and this seasoning needs to be able to seep all the way down to the center of that pork to season this entire thing up. Think about that for a second. And for the sides, sometimes I just give it a little bam on the outside or coat it with my hands just to press it in to make sure it is completely coated. Now what we want to do is head outside to that grill. It's at 250 degrees. We are gonna place this pork shoulder right down on the grill grates. We're gonna stick a thermometer in there just in case, but don't worry, we'll talk about that in a second. You don't have to do this. Close it down. We're gonna let it sit for 3 hours. Now, there are a couple basic rules of thumb when it comes to smoking pork before we wrap it up. Yes, we are gonna wrap it. They say to take it to 165 degrees in the center of the pork before you take it off and wrap it up in foil. I'm gonna take it to 175, and here's why. Pork oftentimes, just like brisket, has a tendency to stall right around 165. And believe me, you do not want to miss out on getting that delicious bark, that crust on the outside of your pork. If not, you're gonna have this sort of rubbery. Just think about it not being caramelized. It's like boiling a steak. I mean, no one wants to do that. So once it goes to 165, sit there until it gets to 175. You'll know it's done as well if you don't have a thermometer. It's totally cool. The top will start to split. Your crust will start to split a little bit. That bark, the fat will separate. You know you're in good shape here. So anyways, we've got some time before we do that. But first, we want to spritz it after 3 hours. To make this, it's a little bit different from the ribs recipe. We're doing a lot more apple juice. So go ahead and pour some of that juice in. Next, we're going to add in some apple cider vinegar. Last but not least, some water. We're going to screw on the top, give it a few shakes, and we're good to go. Now, after that 3 hour period, we are gonna come back and spritz and spray this pork 15 to 20 times every hour for an additional 3 hours. So that means there are 3 spritzes over the course of 6 hours on 250 degrees. Be sure to do this because you're gonna provide some nice moisture. You're gonna let that bark get nice and crusty. All right, you all, it's been about 6.5 hours, actually about 6:45. It's been a little bit longer than I thought. Maybe give it an extra spritz if it's taking you this long. Open up the smoker and oh my gosh, is this thing gorgeous. You're starting to see that dark red bark take place and you know it's done. Remember I told you that little split on the top in the fat? We are good to go. Let's pull the thermometer out. Let's take the pork shoulder off. Go back into the kitchen because what we want to do is wrap this up. When you do this, this helps sort of cook down the fat and all the collagens and tenderizes it and helps get that temperature up to that coveted 200 to 205 degrees that we're looking for so that it pulls apart nicely. Go ahead and set it right on some foil that is double layered. We're going to give it a few more spritzes. And there is definitely no secret to wrapping this up. Really, all you want to do is make sure it's nice and tight because it's gonna get a lot juicier in there and you don't want it to be pouring out of the foil. You're gonna have a fire at that point because juices are gonna be going in everywhere. So just be sure that it's wrapped up well. Now we're going back out to the smoker. Go ahead and put it right back on the grill. Stick the thermometer in it, shut the door. We are gonna crank it up to 275 degrees. This is gonna take another 2 hours or so to get in between 200 and 205 degrees, and that's when you know that your pork is finished. Oh man, you guys, I mean, we are looking at just about 9 hours of smoke time here. I can't take it any longer. It smells amazing in here. Let's go ahead and take the pork shoulder that's wrapped in foil out of the smoker. What you want to do now, and this is hard, you want to let it rest for in between 30 and 45 minutes. Let all those delicious juices soak back into the pork. It is finally time. It's here. Let's do it. Open up that foil and dude, whoa. Absolutely gorgeous. It smells amazing. You are definitely going to be eating some as you pull it. So begin that process. Use some tongs or make sure you have some gloves or even forks because it is going to be hot as you break this down. Be sure to discard that bone. Take out any large chunks of fat because you don't want that in there. Once it's shredded up, you can either do 2 things. Add some barbecue sauce all over it, serve it with barbecue sauce on the side, or make you a nice pulled pork smoked sandwich, my friends. You just brought your favorite barbecue joint right to your house. Dude, home cooked food just tastes better. I've been trying to tell you. Let's not wait any longer. Let's of course get into this. Big old hunk of pork. Oh my gosh. Sorry. It's juicy, it's tender. I told you, do not season it overnight. Do it before you put it in the smoker. Oh my gosh, is that good. And don't forget, please subscribe to my channel and definitely check out my smoked ribs recipe because, oh my gosh, and this, dude, is so good. So go make it.